Speaking of spamming based in chat, there actually is some good news to come out of the Biden administration. I know. Biden picks Deb Haaland to lead Interior Department. The historic choice would elevate a Native American to a cabinet secretary position for the first time, and do so at an agency that played a central role in the nation's long-running abuse of Native people. So, now, there's something I gotta disavow real quick. I personally do not think that the ethnicity or race or religion or whatever of a candidate should be first and foremost the thing we consider with regards to their viability or worth. John Delaney actually just hold on, wait. John Delaney was throwing out some bangers today. Did you guys see this? I think he deleted the tweet, but John Delaney said that hiring a diverse cabinet is more important than hiring a progressive cabinet. He said because policy doesn't really get done much in Washington, the skin color of the candidates is actually more important than their political positions or something like that. What an absolute king of having bad takes. That's amazing. You had to work. That's like you find a good take and you like polar negative opposite of it. Isn't that idpol BS? Well, yeah, of course. So the reason why that's BS, and I'll get to Deb in just a second. The reason why that's BS is because just because you're a member of a minority group doesn't mean that you're meaningfully contributing to the liberation of that minority group. Like, you can have like a black attorney general, and like that's great and all, but if that black attorney general isn't doing things to sort of ameliorate the racial bias in our criminal justice system to the extent that they can, then what's the difference, really? You have the same system, more diverse, but diversity on its own is only really valuable for the benefits that it can provide. I like diversity in higher government because I think it helps to inspire young people. If you're born in this country and you're Native American, you probably have some pretty doomer thoughts about your ability to meaningfully participate in higher society. Rightfully so, because yeah, there are a lot of barriers there. So showing it's possible to succeed in spite of that, it's very inspiring, you know? I've used this example before, but after Bones, the TV show about the duo cop buddies, the investigators, whatever, after that show became popular, there was a surge in women who became detectives because women saw Scully, I think? They saw Scully and they thought, oh, sorry, not Bones, X-Files, my bad. X-Files a better show than Bones. My bad. Sorry. I haven't watched any of it. Fuck you. But they saw Scully and they were like, wow, ladies can do the detective stuff. That's super cool. And yeah, wait, now that I'm thinking about it, wasn't Bones kind of a crap show? Anyway, so more of them got into it, and I like that. I think it's good to inspire people. It's important. That being said, not on its own indicative of positive movement forward. Here's the Delaney tweet. It's more important that Biden's cabinet is diverse than if it's moderate or progressive. As you can see, it got ratio. It's funny. I like it. John Delaney, thank you for throwing your best out there. But let's not waste too much time with this hypothetical, because all of this is a lead up to me saying that I actually really like this pick. Deb Haaland is actually kind of fucking based, guys. So for those of you who don't know, the Department of the Interior, or like the Secretary of the Interior, is the person who provides over a bunch of departments which are about managing federal land. So you have like a wildlife, and you have the Department of Indian Affairs, and you have the Department of like wildlife conservation. You have the Bureau of Land Management. You have all these departments that are in the purview of what the Department of the Interior does. And this is really, really important for a number of reasons, like for a lot of reasons, okay? First of all, yeah, National Park Service, yeah, there are a lot. But here's the kicker, okay? First of all, and this is important, there's probably no other governmental department presently more responsible for the well-being of Native Americans. I mean, the Department of Indian Affairs, and yes, that is what it's called, is under its purview. To have a Native American leading that, and not just any Native American, by the way, but a ardent advocate for Native American rights, Congresswoman out of, I believe, Albuquerque, New Mexico, is pretty awesome. Even more critically, Deb is very opposed to fracking, and she is going to be the arbiter of Biden's promise to prevent fracking on federal land. That's the big kicker there. Biden said that he would prevent fracking from going down on federal land, which is where a lot of it's done, by the way. The Trump administration and his appointments to the Department of the Interior have been very permissive when it came to the use of federal land. Fracking, mining, environmental regulation, all of it getting deregulated under the Trump administration. And Biden said, we're going to put an end to that. And I was skeptical. But with Deb Haaland, I'm not so skeptical, because her entire career has been dedicated to subjects like environmental justice. If you take a look at the website that she ran when she was running for Congress, because she's currently a congresswoman, you can see that like environmental issues are one of the things that she cares about first and foremost. So she is being put in a position now where she's actually capable of enforcing Biden's promise to reduce the exploitation of federal land, to help preserve endangered species, and to help better manage our federal resources in a way that are less exploitative. How does fracking happen so much in federal land? Fracking is most common in states like Pennsylvania, which has little federal land. Do you know how this works out? Mining rights vitally important for states like Nevada. Yeah, because, well, Nevada is mostly federal land. I think Nevada has more federal land than any other state, with the possible exception of Alaska. I could be wrong on that one, but it's either the first or the second most. If a state wants to open up its land to fracking, that's the state's responsibility and the state's right. As purveyors of the federal government, the only thing Biden and his cabinet can do is manage what's done with federal land. So he can't like ban fracking outright, or at least not without Congress's help, but he absolutely can, through Deb Haaland, reduce the exploitation of federal land. We can actually see, hold on, how much fracking is on federal land. We can actually see. In 2017, more than half of New Mexico's oil production and nearly 2/3 of its natural gas production occurred on federal land. New Mexico is the state that Deb Haaland is from. Let me see. Can I get something more general? Let's take a look, people. We need to why we need to ban fracking on U.S. public lands. Okay, do we have a number here on... Do we have a number here? Impact of his ban oil companies from drilling as part of his effect to combat climate change. I feel like it should be easy enough to just have a percentage here. Hold on. A ban on fracking would effectively represent a ban on U.S. natural gas extraction, given 95% of natural gas production involves hydraulic fracking. But how much of it on federal land? According to the report, federal and state governments would lose over $11.3 billion in annual royalties, 24% of the natural fossil fuel production. A ban on energy production from federal lands would decimate several states. Institute for Energy Research. Is there a bias here? When you use terms like decimate in a report, it seems likely that there's some kind of underlying bias. A DC-based nonprofit organization that conducts research and analysis on the functions, operations, and government regulation of global energy markets. Described as a front for the fossil fuel industry, initially formed by Charles Coe, receives donations from Exxon. Yeah, okay, so I don't think this is an especially reliable... Yeah, wow. Gotta Google that stuff, guys. Jeez. Apparently, New Mexico accounts for 57% of federal fracking. Wow, that's the state that she's from. Well, we'll look more into the numbers later. Clearly, the federal the federal land is responsible for quite a bit of the current fracking and drilling that we engage in, and that's all pretty cringe and not based. So I'm looking forward to Deb picking that apart and, putting this country on a better path towards green energy reliance. And I'm stumbling on half my words today. But what matters is the soul of the statement. I trust Deb Haaland. Not just because I think she'd make a good pick for the Department of Interior. And by the way, there is no way in hell the Republicans are not going to try to block her appointment with how much of a threat she is to the oil and gas industry. But she's also pretty damn progressive, too. Wait, hold on. Vosh, Charles Coe is such a boogeyman to you lefties. It's actually hilarious. He's just a normal dude. You're a troll, right? I'm going to assume that's a troll message. Dude, it's just one of the Coe brothers. Like they don't have any like power. They're just like a guy. What are you talking about? Good bait. Anyway, not only do I think she'd make a good pick for the Department of the Interior, and she'd be good for climate change, she's also a progressive. She supports Medicare for all, and she has as a New Mexico congresswoman. Additionally, she is actually not born in a silver spoon in her mouth, believe it or not, being of Native American heritage. I can't imagine many of them are born into tremendous wealth and luxury. But she was actually quite poor for a while. Food stamps and the like. Apparently, if I read this correctly, she actually, in order to help herself and her kid out of poverty, started a salsa company. And that's the most based shit I've ever heard in my life, okay? That's the fucking American dream right there. If you're struggling and you're in your head, you're like, what do I do to get out of this? I'm going to make a fucking salsa company. That's some based ass shit, okay? That's some good shit. And I respect that. I don't know if it was good salsa or not. That might be a critical distinction. It might have been trash salsa. I don't know, but I hope it wasn't. One way or another, I just want to be clear. There are some people, when I put this video out, they're going to say, Vosh simping for Biden already. He hasn't even been inaugurated. But let me make it clear, okay? I'm not simping for Biden for appointing Deb Haaland. I'm simping for Deb Haaland, all right? And to disregard the significance of this appointment just because Biden is the one who's doing it is disrespectful to Deb Haaland, okay? I think it would be enormously disrespectful for a person of her credentials, of her character, of her ethics, to brush it aside, be like, oh, whatever, diversity hire from Biden. I think that would be very disrespectful, and I think it's wrong. It's a good ass choice. Doesn't quite cancel out Neera Tanden, actually. As it so happens, I was doing some utilitarian calculus, and it doesn't compensate for Neera Tanden. Or Pete Buttigieg. Oh, we got to talk about Pete. Oh, God. Why is he Department of Transportation? What has he even done? Does he just like trains? I don't know. Yes, Mayor Pee Butt coming in hot with the cabinet pick. I know the Republicans won't be fighting that one. What does he know about transportation? I don't know. I don't know. There was a tweet that I really, really liked, and it was like, Pete Buttigieg is going to be astonished how much his haters care about trains, which is so true, because the left fucking hates Pete Buttigieg, and we love trains, and now he's the train guy. It actually sucks, because there were more progressive picks, like reasonable picks up for the Department of Transportation, and I feel like the Department of Transportation is like a sleeper pick right now. Like a really good Department of Transportation could do an incredible amount of work to revitalizing our country's infrastructure and making it less of a car-dependent traffic nightmare hellhole. So I don't know. I mean, is Pete Buttigieg the man for the job? I mean, I don't think so, but we'll talk about him more later. Why does the left like trains so much? Because American car culture is incredibly toxic and wasteful and very, very destructive, both to the environment and to the culture of like cities. Trains are efficient. They are functional. They've been working for fucking 200 years. We know they work. Wait, 150. We know they work. We know they function. Isn't Biden a train guy? I don't know if Biden's a train guy. I'm a train guy, okay? I like trains. Hey, have you ever been on a train? They're choo-choo. They're so cool. Except trains don't choo-choo anymore. They don't actually do that.